people. If you've had parents or grandparents that were involved in World War II, today is Pearl Harbor Day. So in remembrance of the veterans who served in World War II, it's a very special day. We'll start with let me also point out that we've added one point to the agenda. It's on the discussion decision item, and that's to approve a letter of support for the Prairie Island Community Land Trust, which we will get to shortly. And we have a representative here from Prairie Island today as well. All right, the consent agenda to approve the November 21, 2023 Olmsted County Board minutes. Letter B, County, City, Tribal, and State Health and Human Services Worker Day Proclamation. Letter C, approve the 2024 Memorandum of Agreement with the University of Minnesota Extension. Letter D, approve the Declaration of Restricted Property for Graham Park Regional Exhibition Center Grant Agreement. Letter E, extend the Human Trafficking Prevention Pilot Joint Powers Agreement between the City of Rochester and Olmsted County for massage license inspection services. Letter F, approve annual liquor license for Oak Summit Golf Course. Letter G, approve annual liquor license for Shars Country Palace. Letter H, approve annual liquor license for Maple Valley Golf and Country Club. Letter I, approve annual liquor license for Uncle John's Bar and Grill. Letter J, approve annual liquor license for Douglas Saloon and Social Club. Letter K, approve off-sale liquor license for Jeff's Little Store. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, can I just pull item D for just a quick comment, and I will move to approve it.
All right, we'll pull letter B so that you can comment on that. Very good. All right, so all in favor of everything except letter B, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Anybody opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, Commissioner Senjum, go ahead, letter B.
Mr. Chair, I would first of all move to approve item D, but just with this comment, if I could make it, and this is maybe just a statement of frustration, but item D has to do with a restricted property provision related to the exhibition center at Graham Park, and that's all fine, well, and good. But why we cannot put a sunset date in there consistent with the term of the bonds, which is 20 years, I simply don't understand. And so as I look at the declaration on page either 3D or page 14, it suggests that the property restriction should remain in effect until basically all the encumbrances are removed, which is basically to say the bond provisions. And then sometime in 2044, some staff member at the MMB in St. Paul will have to think about going into the files and pulling out a document and in fact sending us a release of the restrictions. I would almost bet that will not happen unless it's prompted by the Olmsted County. So I just say I wish we could have written into this provision, a sunset provision, consistent with the terms of the bonds, because that's all the state's interested in anyway. But we can't do that apparently. I may talk to the commissioner about this privately, but on the side, not necessarily to us, but if this is common practice, it's arcane as far as I'm concerned. With that, Mr. Chair, I would reaffirm my motion to approve.
All right, I need a second. All right, a motion and a second to approve letter D. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, letter D is carried as well. Thank you for your comments. All right, we are at the discussion and decision items, which is the approved letter for support of Prairie Island Community Land Trust. So we have somebody here from Prairie Island. Would you care to address the board today? Not required, but introduce yourself and.
Hihani Washte, Nikki Lato, Makiapier. Good morning. My name is Nikki Lato, and I am a tribal member of the Prairie Island Indian community. I'm also our federal government relations specialist, and also a former tribal council member. I like to call it tribal council survivor. My Dakota name is Mazoia, which means Iron Woman. I'm really pleased to be here. I was not expecting to speak, so we're going off the cuff here. And I just wanted to apologize also for my back being to the audience and to leadership, because in our culture also you don't turn your back on people, but in this setting I have no choice. I wasn't expecting that also that this would be on the agenda, but I greatly appreciate if there'd be approval for the support letter for our community. We currently have an application in with the federal government for the Department of Interior to put our land in trust that we purchased at the Elk Run area. And just having the support of surrounding communities is really important to us, and it's also important to the Department of Interior, because they have concerns that, yes, we may move our community to this area, but is that going to be to the detriment of everyone else? And this is our way of saying that we are working with the surrounding communities and the surrounding governments, and that we will be working on agreements and how we can move forward and to best not only blend our communities, but also bolster the region with business opportunities, and also just getting to know, being good neighbors, and also trying to better inform the community. I would like to also just applaud the council, or I'm sorry, the board, on your work that you've done. We have seen and recognized the fact that you did receive a National Achievement Award for the joint study on race and racism, and that means a lot to our community. We've had a lot of meetings and discussions. I've had the privilege of meeting with Commissioner Thine and Thine. Sorry. I have a friend I grew up with that was Mark Thine, so I'm like, yes. Well, I'll give you his name later. And so I had a great discussion with him for actually, he gave me the privilege of having about at least an hour plus to learn more about the community. I'm looking forward to learning more about your community, and also having our communities mixed together and learn more from each other. So I'm just going to be attending, will be attending more regularly, just to learn more about what your needs are and what's happening down in this area, and how we can work together to bring us all together. So
Thank you very much. The board is very much interested in working together, making a smooth transition for the Prairie Island folks to come into Olmsted County, and to mutually solve problems together, and to plan for development
absolutely.
together as well. So it should be a great opportunity for the people in Olmsted County.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to that. I'm also I'm working with our chief of police and other departments within our community to be working to put together meetings to work with other tribal safety, not tribal, public safety, public safety leadership and things. So we're going to be working this stuff out, and I will be, you have my word that I will be in those meetings and working towards that goal. So thank you so much.
Does any other commissioners have any comments?
Mr. Chair, I look forward to learning more, and have been sorry that the times that the tribe has reached out and invited us to various events, including the induction of new officers next week. I've had conflicts, but I look forward to having the opportunity to tour Prairie Island. I haven't done it in many years.
Oh, wow.
And to developing our ongoing relationship. And I am the incoming chair. We rotate every year. Wow. And so I was explaining to our current chair that I had it on my to-do list for 2023, and somehow the year went by, but 2024 won't go by.
Okay.
Without that.
It's on record. No, I'm just kidding. You have to come to see, definitely come down and see our community, and also see the buffalo. That's always a really amazing experience, and we welcome everyone to come enjoy that. It's spirit building. So thank you very much. I appreciate your support, and especially your welcome. Unfortunately, we don't get that a lot with a lot of the communities that we've come into, and so this is it's an absolute joy. So I'm really touched by that. Thank you for your support.
And maybe in the nature somewhat of committee reports, just to kind of comment that I think I've been in public office a long time, and there's really the current climate in Minnesota is really looking carefully at how we have stronger relationships with the tribes. There's a human services leadership forum that is meeting, that is tribal governments, county governments, the county elected officials, and county social service directors, and the Department of Human Services. That group has been meeting for about 2 years, about every other month, and many of our meetings have been in tribal communities so that we have the opportunity to see and to have a more conversation.
Right.
Similarly, the new Department of Children, Youth, and Families that's being formulated, there is a conversation about creating a intergovernmental council that will have be a place where uh, county governments, tribes and county governments are the front door for most social services, so that there can be a place to meet and confer with that department around various policy issues. The approach that we're taking is this is that it's open to the tribes when they're ready to join, because tribal communities vary a great deal.
Absolutely.
So I think that we are learning as Minnesotans about how to work with our tribal sovereign governments, how to collaborate in providing services. There's a Indian Child Welfare Task Force that's meeting right now. It's coming out with
Right.
recommendations to the legislature. I think that we're on the cusp of many different kinds of change, and so the welcome that you're getting from Olmsted County, hopefully will be tribal communities will be feeling around the state.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And we'll definitely take you up on some of those meetings to understand more and work together. So thank you.
So Commissioner Tyne represents the area where Elk Run is, and I think he's met a couple times. Do you have any comments?
No, I mean, we've been looking forward to this moving forward for years now, and most of the people that I interact with are really optimistic and looking forward to it. So,
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Any other commissioner comments? All right. I will look for a motion to approve the letter of support for Prairie Island Community Land Trust.
so moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. I have a motion and a second.
Mr. Chair, just a quick comment.
Yes.
This is really wonderful news, and that property, I won't say it has a storied history, but it has a history related to some potential development up there, some urgency about putting this large intersection together to accommodate that property, and I think at the end it's really worked out highest and best use, and we really welcome you to Olmsted County. Look forward to having you.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. I appreciate that.
Any other comments?
So what I would hope that you would consider is offering to serve, perhaps on the Public Health Services Advisory Committee, perhaps on our Human Rights Commission. But I'm thinking we at least need to have the conversation. Is there a conflict? If so, we don't want to put you in an awkward position on that advisory board.
I appreciate that.
So, Mr. Chair, with that in mind, I would like to approve. I would like to make the motion to accept both of these individuals as volunteers with, I'm sorry, I'm blocking on your name, with Dr. McLaren on the Parks Commission, and the assignment for other volunteer to be determined.
Okay.
Yeah, I can second that.
So, any commissioners have a question? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say
you.
no. All right, motion's carried. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. All right, so then we will go to board and committee reports. We'll start on my left here. Commissioner Sandrum, do you have a board report today? Not required.
Mr. Chair, a lot going on, but in the interest of the moment, I think I'll just pass.
All right, very good. All right, Commissioner Cascaden.
Well, Mr. Chair, you'll be happy to hear that don't have much of a report because I've spent most of my time incommunicado and at home since our last meeting. I did have a document that I had hoped to distribute to you about the new Department of Children, Youth, and Families, and somehow I've left that at home. So we'll save that for the new year.
All right, very good. All right, Commissioner Tyne.
It's not exactly board and committee report, but some of us were at the Mayo Clinic's Bold Forward announcement, which was just historic. And I think we need to recognize that our DMC legislation and the funding that we put towards DMC has really spurred this investment in our community, which is historic. I mean, it's essentially spending as much as building 4.5 U.S. bank stadiums and then filling each one of them with 1,000 workers in perpetuity, which is just crazy to think in our community we're going to have that much investment by a private firm. So, well, kudos to Mayo. We got a lot of good problems coming ahead, trying to accommodate influx of people, workers into our community. But these are the kind of problems that we're glad to have as compared to what they could be. So.
All right, Commissioner Mueller.
I do not have a report.
All right, Commissioner Rossman.
I would just touch briefly on a topic that we covered in our committee meeting today, and that is how we provide mobile crisis services here in Olmsted County. You're going to hear a lot more about this topic. Our staff, through the regional collaborative that we currently work through with CREST, we've identified some inefficiencies, some things that we can most likely do better to serve the residents of Olmsted County. They've done a great job in identifying this in a time period that we're going to have ample time to really dig deep and understand the regional impact of a decision that we don't need to make until 2025, but are having a regional conversation about whether it makes sense for Olmsted County to do some of those, bring some of those services internally versus working with outside providers, and just commend our staff in bringing topics like that to us and understanding that getting initial direction, but then understanding that we need a lot more really good data and information behind all of this, both on the human impact, but also the economics, and so that we can understand our fiduciary responsibility and just broad impact to the residents of Olmsted County. So we're going to be hearing a lot more about mobile crisis services in the near term. So for those of you not on the committee, we'll continue to bring that information to you so we can make an informed decision going forward.
Thank you very much. The Mayo Clinic announcement is going to have a huge impact on Olmsted County, and the likes of which Olmsted County probably hasn't seen since IBM came to town years ago, and the tremendous impact that they had on growth. So it'll be incumbent upon both the city as well as the county to have some kind of plan growth in place so that it doesn't end up to be willy-nilly, but in an orderly manner so that we can accommodate the growth that's coming to Olmsted County. So big step.
Mr. Chair, it just occurred to me as I'm listening to everyone that we've had news this last week that maybe we want to comment on in terms of not being successful in securing the state fund for the Housing Stability Center that we had hoped to secure. And as on many things in life, sometimes a problem becomes an opportunity because we were rushed in not having the opportunity to fully engage the community and the discussion of our vision for the future. And now we have time to really to look at what is it that what is it that our community needs? What is it our community wants? And have a little bit more conversation moving forward. I just want to state, I've been quoted, and I would say this, I've been quoted in the paper that I still think there's opportunity for us to look at as the board at that Roth property, because we need so much transitional housing. And that is transitional housing that we could never replicate in the same way. But the future of how we're going to, as a community, respond to the need for emergency shelter. Now we have the time for a much longer, broader discussion about that than we had, given we were working to grant application timelines. So, given the strong neighborhood concern and the business community's concern, I just think we want to acknowledge the disappointment of not being one of the grantees, but the opportunity that it provides for us to have a long-range plan that is well understood by the community.
Thank you for those comments. Anybody else? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned, and we'll take 10 minutes, and then we will reassemble as the committee of the whole.
Mr. Chair, in another room where we
Over there? Okay.